Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Doorshutter coming back to you with a brand new episode of the Direwolf20 1.20 mod pack. And today, we're actually going to get further into bees. I know I said I was going to probably do this on a live stream, and I kind of don't want to do that fully. A lot of the breeding and stuff, yes, I might lead up to that, but for right now, I kind of want to look at some gene stuff. And one of those ways to do that is to get a fence post, a lead, and a bee that can actually have genes. So basically, not a normal Minecraft bee because they do not have genes. So we're going to put this guy in here, and we're going to put the yellow carpenter bee, put a lead on him, put him on a fence post. And basically, what's going to happen is over the next few Minecraft days, is he is going to change his genes depending on the time of day. Okay? And hopefully what we're going to get is the ability to have the bee be able to produce during day and night cycles, right? And that is a very, very important thing because I won't have to sleep as much and the bees won't be resting as much, right? So that is something to think about, and definitely something we're gonna get going here. So I also want to make sure that we chunk load this where this guy is, so that way we have that down pat. And you can see I've changed up the actual bee chambers. Basically, with this, just make sure that the actual beehive is on the bottom while the expansion box is on the top. That's something I will put out there because I don't think I fully mentioned that. But that is how this works. And we have 5 draconic bees in here, by the way. And I think what I want to try and do is get a centrifuge. Centrifuge. Let me see. Productive. Okay. Let's get just a normal centrifuge. Okay. Let's see if we can get a powered centrifuge. And what's the heated one? So this is an inactive dragon egg. Okay, so we're not really there yet, which I'm okay with. So just the powered. And a flux point. Actually, I guess we could just go put him over in the other location. We have the items over here, so let's just put this guy here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take our draconic comb, put that in here, and that is fantastic. What was this? Speed. So that's actually our speed upgrade right there. Okay, and it looks like we're not guaranteed draconic dust. Okay, so that's going to be an issue. Alright, I figured that we were going to get 100%, but that is not the case. But that is okay. How did you... Where did you come from? Did you escape captivity? I might need to get teleportation upgrade stuff figured out real quick. I think whatever this one was, the anti-teleportation. Yeah, let's quickly grab 2 of those. I've also taken out the copper bee out of this nest, by the way, just because that makes it easier. And the way it makes it easier, of course, is because then we don't have to have 2 different fertilization materials or pollination materials, whatever you want to call them. So we'll do anti-teleportation, anti-teleportation, and let's get this guy back in here. Okay. And we want to probably make sure that he is linked to this one. There we go. But yeah, I don't know where the other bee went. But that's okay. Alright, so that is processed, and we only got 2. So basically what I think, we need to get, 9 of this to get 1 chunk. And then we basically want to try and get a block upgrade for the draconic bees. So we're going to want a ton of draconic bees, I think is basically the point. And I think some commenter actually said that I probably should just get a crap ton. Because I guess they are super useful. And seeing that you have to go through several processes to actually get that, yeah, I understand now. Okay, so advanced beehive. So we need a normal beehive, and then Should be able to get this. And then an expansion box. Perfect. So oak beehive. Oop, flew into the glass, didn't I? So here, here, and then glass on the top. Perfect. Okay, so how are we going to get the rest of the genes that we're going to want? Because I'm going to do the draconic stuff off camera, because that is going to take a while. It is not as easy as other breeding and stuff, because I can't breed these guys. I have to actually go get more out of the hives. I'm not doing that right now. That is going to take time, and that is something I will hold off on until some live stream. Trying to type in barrel, and I'm just completely and utterly typing in baller for some reason. Anyway, that was interesting of a mistake, but yeah. So we will have to definitely look into that, because I am not going to do that right now. So the next thing we want to look at here is getting genes. I guess we could look at getting a prismarine bee, because that is going to be helpful. So let's get rid of the bees that we already have. We've got the nomad bee, we've got the 10 bee, we've got the silver bee, radioactive bee, because I did get a handful of them with the crystalline bee and the ashy mining bee. They have a result of copper, iron, or tin. So you can possibly get all one of those three from them. And I think did I say the iron? Iron, tin, copper. Yeah, I think that's what I said. But I've got iron, tin, and copper. I've got actually 2 sets of these guys, so we can actually breed them up if we wanted to. But we're going to get a fancier fishing rod, I think, is what our first option is real quick, because I'm pretty sure that'll affect how fast we get this prismarine bee. If we can get the prismarine bee, that is. So, fishing rod. We probably want to try and get Luck of the Sea. Let's see. Book and Quill. Okay, let's yoink. That might cause problems in the future, but that's okay. I'm really tired of having to autocraft books every single time I do this. Genuinely. Here, how about that? 4,000 books. I just need to put a requester on so I can actually have books in the system constantly, but I haven't done that yet. I will do that someday. Okay. So back up here. Enchanter. So Luck of the Sea. Fishing. Let's see here. Spearfishing. Spearfishing. There's lure, isn't there? So salmon. So cod. Salmon. I have some salmon. Okay, let's throw that on here. Do I have any mending books? I do not. Book and Quill. Okay. And then do I have any unbreaking? I do not. I don't know what I did with the unbreaking book that I had in here, but that's okay. I think we should be fine. So let's get a boat. Let's go find prismarine. And we probably want to grab our sturdy cages back out of here just in case, because I don't know how this actually comes out. But yeah, prismarine, because this actually tells us what biomes we need to go to. So that is a frozen ocean, cold ocean, deep ocean, or lukewarm ocean. Let's see. So nature's compass. So we'll just shoot for cold ocean. So deep, cold ocean, right? That was what we said, not just cold ocean. Okay, so deep, cold ocean. So we've got one actually quite close to us. Which I think is just this whole thing over here. So we're at cold. Just need to go for a bit further. Probably a bit further than this because I don't want to do that on top of that guy. Why is there a bee all the way out here? Is that actual bee that I just had? I don't know. Okay. So we'll probably sit here, do some fishing, and hopefully find this bee. But I don't think there's any other real things to look at other than this. I know if it's raining, there's a higher chance of getting this, but that's okay. And I probably should have got lure. I thought there was another thing. Wasn't there like an angler's bounty? I think that's another mod and total. There's a sponge bee. Hey, we'll take it. Nope, he just killed himself, didn't he? Yep. Why did he just straight up attack me, though? That wasn't very nice. Didn't do anything but free him from the ocean depths, and he tries to kill me. Rude. Okay, so you can get a sponge bee from this as well. Did not know that one. But apparently I need to be on guard. Ooh, hey. Okay, don't sting me. Okay, goodness. That is, like, nerve-wracking. So, weather tolerance, any. Look at that. That is fantastic. Endurance, strong, temper, hostile. So he doesn't have the trait that I want besides weather tolerance, which is fantastic. That'll basically allow for us to have, come rain or shine, we'll be able to actually produce honey as well. So we've got that one. But I'm kind of trying to see what else we can get here. Because if we can get another one, I think we can breed these guys together. Just so we don't have to try and find another one whenever we gene sample this guy. Because basically, converting this guy into a gene sample kills them. So keep that in mind. You'll kind of probably want to get multiple. Okay. Oh, man, that is nerve-wracking. Okay, so we've got those guys. I think I don't think these guys give us what I'm thinking, which is the productivity very high. I think that's another B in total, and that's gonna be a problem. Because basically what I'll have to do is I'll have to get a kamikaze bee, which is not that difficult. The only issue is it's kind of in the name. They try to kamikaze into whatever. So that's the only issue that I know of. Yeah, because we're not really getting anything different, but we'll just shoot for one more. And maybe we'll get another sponge bee. But yeah, the prismarine, I guess, isn't that hard, especially since we've got a pretty decent fishing rod. Okay. Nope, that was my mistake. I did it too fast. So yeah, I mean, I haven't cut this, right? I'm actually kind of leaving this all in one piece here because I wanted to show how fast this was done. And pretty decently, actually. Not too terrible. And it might be more painful because if you guys don't do like a normal enchanted fishing rod. So there was a sponge bee. So this guy is medium productivity instead of normal, which I don't know if that's better. Genuinely, no idea. But he does like a somersault attack whenever he tries to kill you. which I think is kind of interesting. I didn't know if bees actually did that, like in the game. I didn't actually know they had like a special animation for that. Come on. Oh, what are you? An oily bee? Ooh, okay, hold on. Oily bee. What are you? Okay, so let's just look at bee fishing. So water bee, sponge bee, prismarine bee, and an oily bee. So an oily bee requires crude oil to then make oily combs, and then oily combs could be making oil. Okay. All right. I think for now we're gonna just revert to what we have, which is the prismarine. We know that we can get a handful of interesting bees. The sponge bee, I would assume, of course, gives us sponge comb. Oh, actually, they just look like they give us sponge. There's just 5% chance of either a normal sponge or a wet sponge. Okay. Interesting. I mean, I really don't need that because we have that, what is it called? Simple sponge mod. So I'm not really too concerned about those guys. And I don't think they breed into anything. Right? It's just them. Okay. So let's see here. Prismarine bee. So this guy and this guy will give us another bee. And we're going to want to grab a bottler. And we're going to want to grab... and I don't think there's like a powered variation. It's just a bottler. Okay. So let's put this guy over here. And let's get some blocks. So cobblestone. And let's grab... I think we want a piston. So we're going to need to put a piston on this. If this is still correct, I have no idea. And we're just going to want to grab a lever. Put that here. Just push that into there. Okay. And then we're going to take our adult prismarine bee that we have and just right-click this block. Okay, so it doesn't work that way anymore. Why does it not work that way? Okay, so how do I do this then? Because I thought this was how we do it. Slowly extracts genes, gene indexer. So I prefer not dying here. Or doing that. Can I still... Man, why do they gotta make things so stupidly complicated? Like, they changed so much with this mod, apparently. And this bee's dead, basically, so... I don't understand how this works anymore, apparently. Because it should be as simple as what I just did. Basically, have the bee in here, slam him down with a piston, unless it's changed. Which it may have changed. And if it changed, I really wish there was some more information. I guess I could look at the book, right? You know what, let's do that. At Productive Bees, book. I think I just got rid of the sponge bee. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I just want to look for genes. Collecting genes. Oh, I need to have stupid bottles in here, don't I? Hold on. I think that's something a lot of people forget to talk about, is you actually need that. But okay. So now can we do this? Exactly, like that. Okay. Just forgot the bottles. That's all I forgot. And then we're going to need to take this into a centrifuge. And this will give us... I don't know what endurance does. Does this tell us what endurance... so genes. Do we just have... collecting genes. Okay. I don't see anything... Okay, so here it is. Affects the bee's max health with a high endurance. The bee has a chance to not lose its stinger when attacking. Levels are weak, normal, medium, and strong. And so we've just got strong. So that's actually not terrible, but endurance isn't that important, especially if you're keeping these guys in the actual in that actual thing, like in the actual hives. So I mean, I don't think that's really the greatest, but let's check on this guy. So he has a Metaternal. What is Metaternal? So Metaternal works all day and night. So that's exactly what we want, is Metaternal. The thing is, I think we're going to have to do this several times, though, because we basically want to get this guy's genes, and we need to get these to 100%. So in here, we can see there's percentages on these. So for example, the weather tolerance, 51%. So right now we couldn't really give this to a bee and give it, that ability. So basically, this yellow carpenter bee, we can gene sample this guy and put it back in here, and we should see that we will get a small percentage of that metaternal gene. Okay, so 39% of that metaternal gene. So nothing too fancy, but we are getting somewhere, right? Because we're going to basically need to do that again, right? Until we have it fully decent. So we're going to put a lever on the side of this, by the way, so that will actually start combining things that are actually combinable. But let's grab another bee out of the backpack. Okay, so green carpenter bee, I guess, is up next. And we're going to want to just plop him down, connect him to the post, and then we're going to see if we can get him to be metaternal. And we're going to do this just like a handful of times to see about getting at least 2 or 3 more metaternal genes, and then that will give us a pretty decent start, okay? And it looks like we are almost done with this prismarine bee, and I want to basically just get him to an adult so we can then convert him into a gene sample anyway. But he has weather tolerance any, right? That's what we're shooting for. Weather tolerance any. Okay. So that is good. Now we're just going to go over here. Do this. Centrifuge. And we're going to kind of keep repeating this cycle until we get what we fully want. Okay. So we'll just toss all these in here. So you can see that things are moving around, which means that it is actually combining. So we've got 96% on the any gene. So we need at least 1 more of these to actually get where we want to go. Okay. So let's get a cage in here. And then that should convert over into the baby. I mean, we could try and see if a child being put into the gene squeezer part, the bottle squeezer part, actually functions that way. But for right now, I'm fine. Okay. So, of course, we've got weather tolerance any. But we will probably have to get the other piece, which is the very high productivity. So, basically, my goal is to try and see if we can get really any of our bees up that high. As I'm not sure how this fully functions anymore. But if we look, I think, yeah, so we can bind this with the honey treat. And then the honey treat, I believe we can actually click on a hive with. But I have to look into it a little bit more. So prismarine bee. Okay, so squished bee material. So this is our 3rd go around, right? And that 3rd go around should get us to that any. Okay, so there's our any. And that's going to be combining that with a honey treat. So honey treat, gene sample. So if we press use on this, my only question really is how do we activate this? Okay, so let's look in here. So gene, collecting genes, transferring genes. So to transfer genes to a bee, you'll need to combine that gene with the honey treat, feed the honey treat to the bee, and it will have a chance based on the purity of the gene to acquire the new attribute. The purity of the gene can be transferred by combining 2 of the same genes or by putting more of the same gene into a treat. So basically, just use the gene indexer. So if we give the weather tolerance any, so we're basically going to need to do this multiple times, I would think, to kind of give this a positive impact on breeding bees. That doesn't seem right. So basically, we're just going to have to upgrade a single bee multiple times, I would think. I'm not thinking that correctly. I don't think. So, for example, if I were to give one of these bees this, yes, they would have productivity throughout the weather, but they wouldn't have the ability to kind of breed that on. I'm not sure. Well, I mean, you can't breed draconic bees anyway, but we're basically going to have to get that 5 times for draconic bees, is what I'm thinking, or 10 times, or however many draconic bees we have, which I guess isn't that hard, especially because we have the prismarine bees, but you know, that is just what I'm thinking. Let's see. Can we get a prismarine? It's almost done there. Actually, I guess I don't need to do that on a prismarine, right? And I think it takes a few Minecraft days for this guy to actually change. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay. All right, so that's kind of the start of this, right? We've definitely got a lot of places to go with this, such as getting like the kamikaze bee, which we require a bee nest helmet, which requires a bee nest. Looks like can we get one from you? We actually can. So let's actually get one from this guy real quick. And we'll get the bee nest helmet. And this is actually giving you a 30% chance to spawn a kamikaze bee when hit. Okay? So we're going to toss this on our head. Right? That was our head. And we basically need to go get attacked by mobs to spawn a kamikaze bee. And then that kamikaze bee might have the very high production trait. But the issue, and I will say this, the only issue with this is you're going to run into, you're not able to breed kamikaze bees. So you'll need to do this a lot, basically. So that's going to be the biggest drawback with these bees. But once you get that very high, you may be able to kind of breed those in, unless, of course, they're draconic bees where you can't breed them, or just any unbreedable bee type. That's going to be the issue that I see, at least, is that we won't be able to fully do this as well as I would like, right? So I think we're going to wrap this one up here. We'll do the kamikaze bees next episode, just because I know we're going to hopefully get further into this gene sampling and stuff and kind of figure it out. Of course, Minecraft bees we can't do anything with because they don't have genes, but things like the osmium, the iron, all of that stuff. And once we get those like 2 bees set to be perfect, basically, with the just kind of overall productivity, endurance, and let's see, which one is it? So let's just look at a normal bee. So we basically want productivity, which this one actually is high. So if we wanted to try and get more oily bees, we could. But the productivity, we want that to be very high. We want the weather tolerance to be any, and the behavioral to be that that's what was it called? Uh Maternal. There it is. That's what I had to think of for a second. So we basically want our bees to be along that line, right? And whether that be kind of restarting our entire production, getting these guys to have all of those traits and then breed, and then have, the iron bee come out and then kind of rebreed to the osmium tier. I mean, that's not a problem if we were to do that. That would actually result in the copper 10 and iron bees all to be that kind of same gene pool, and I think that might not be a bad idea. So that is a fantastic idea. Anyway, I don't know what we'll do. We're going to figure this out because I'm still kind of learning, and of course we had the issue with the bottler, but that was all on me. Kind of forgot the bottles. A little important in a bottler, I would think. But anyway, thank you guys. Stay awesome, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.